If you're a busy professional listening right now, executive, entrepreneur, leader, or high performer who has quietly wondered whether alcohol is still serving you, this episode is for you. We're in 2026 and something real is shifting. Sobriety, or at least drinking far less, is no longer fringe. It's becoming one of the smartest performance and health moves a serious person can make. Recent data and conversations across wellness, leadership, and recovery circles show more professionals waking up to the hidden costs: the fractured focus, compromised recovery, emotional volatility, and the slow erosion of the very edge they've worked so hard to build. But here's what most conversations miss: these trends only become lasting transformation when they're anchored in something deeper than willpower or the latest headline. So today, I'm going to walk you through the key trends shaping sobriety right now for people like us, backed by what I've been researching across studies, leadership conversations, and real-world patterns. Then we'll tie every single one directly back into the SOBER method so you have a practical operating system, not just inspiration. I'm also going to explain what flavors of confidence actually means, because that's the destination we're building toward. If you've ever felt the tension between your professional drive and your inner life, please stay with me. This is going to be direct, useful, and grounded. Now let's start with the foundation so everything else lands clearly. Flavors of confidence is not a slogan. It's the heart of this entire body of work. This phrase comes from a self-portrait that my late friend Samantha Allison Thomas created and gave me shortly after we met in 2014. She titled the piece Flavors of Confidence and described herself in it as one who feigned confidence, just made of portions of a fake whole. Now, let me paint the picture for you, because the visual itself tells the whole story. From about 10 feet away, the portrait looks like a complete, confident young woman, poised, present, and whole. But when you step closer, you realize she's composed almost entirely of thousands of tiny dots, scribbles, and connected lines. There are no solid, continuous forms. The figure only appears whole and put together from a distance. Up close, it's fragmented, pieced together from separate parts that don't quite connect. That image stayed with me. Most of us, especially busy professionals, have spent years constructing exactly that kind of confidence. From 10 feet away, we look solid, capable, in control. But up close, when life gets quiet or the pressure builds, we feel the disconnection, the performance, the mask, the portions of a fake whole. Flavors of confidence is the antidote. It's the lived, layered, authentic confidence that emerges when you stop faking wholeness and start doing the real work. It's not one generic flavor, it's yours. Built through stoic clarity, honest self-observation, deliberate behavior change, consistent execution, and restorative power of self-forgiveness and genuine connection. The SOBER method exists to help you build that unique flair. It's a continuous cycle, not linear checklist. And when you understand the current trends in sobriety through that lens, they stop being interesting headlines and become powerful invitations to deepen your own practice. That's what we're going to do today. Trend number 1, sober curious and deliberate reduction in drinking has moved from niche to mainstream, especially among professionals and high achievers. Recent surveys and leadership conversations show drinking rates at historic lows for certain demographics, with growing numbers of adults in demanding careers actively choosing to drink less or not at all. It's interestingly framed as a performance advantage: clearer mornings, better sleep, sharper decision-making, stable energy, and the removal of the hidden tax that hangovers and next-day fog place on ambitious people. This isn't primarily about rock bottom anymore. It's about optimization and self-respect. And professionals are asking, is this substance actually supporting the life and leadership I'm building? Now, this trend maps beautifully into 2 steps of SOBER method. Stoic gives you the philosophical ground to ask the real question without self-deception. What am I actually seeking when I reach for a drink? Is it relief, connection, numbness, celebration that has become just automatic? And observe is where the power compounds. Most professionals are excellent at observing external data, but weaker at observing their own internal patterns without judgment. When you practice observe as part of the cycle, you start noticing the exact patterns, emotions, and environments where the urge appears. You see the story you've been telling yourself. Without that honest observation, drinking less stays as some sort of vague intention. With it, it becomes precise data you can work with. And that's the difference between the trend you admire and a change you can actually live. Trend number 2, and this one is massive in 2026 conversations: nervous system regulation and stress resilience as central to long term recovery and performance. Many relapse patterns and emotional volatility in sobriety aren't primarily about the substance anymore. They are about a dysregulated nervous system that never learned how to return to baseline after years of high stress, high output, and using alcohol as the primary off switch. This certainly was me. You see this in business professionals constantly. The body stays in a low grade threat state. Sleep suffers, emotional reactivity spikes, and the old coping mechanism gets activated. Now, how does SOBER address this directly? It does in behavior and execute. These are the primary nervous system tools. Behavior asks, what small repeatable actions actually help my system downregulate? This might be deliberate breath work, movement that isn't punishment, or structured journaling. Execute turns those into non-negotiable daily or weekly practices with measurement. And restore then becomes essential. A regulated nervous system still needs relational and self-relational repair. The restore step, forgiveness of self and others, honest connection, is profoundly regulating. It tells the body and brain, I'm safe enough to be seen. Many professionals skip this step and then wonder why they feel so brittle. SOBER doesn't let you skip it. Trend number 3, the clear move away from one-size-fits-all recovery towards personalized, compassionate, individualized approaches, plus promising early research on tools like GLP-1 showing potential to blunt cravings. The research is still developing, but the direction is clear. Addiction is being treated more as a chronic medical and neurobiological condition influenced by stress, trauma, and individual biology. Compassionate, tailored care is replacing the rigid models. Here's how that ties back to SOBER. External tools are most powerful when they sit on top of a strong internal operating system. The SOBER method is that operating system. It gives you stoic clarity, observe capacity, behavior and execute discipline, and restore so the work is sustainable rather than purely mechanical. Your flavor of confidence is not created by any single trend or tool. It is forged in the daily deliberate work of becoming the person who no longer needs the old escapes. The final trend worth naming is the rising power of consistent self-awareness and tracking combined with a growing emphasis on emotional sobriety. This is the ability to feel and process emotions without immediately reaching for a substance or behavior to change the state. SOBER has been built around this from day one. The observe and execute steps turn vague intentions into measurable, kind, and repeatable practice. So here's one clear SOBER move inspired by everything we've discussed today. Pick one pattern or urge that has shown up in your life recently. Maybe the end of the day wind down, a stress spike, or the quiet boredom that used to get solved with a drink. Run it through the full cycle. In STOIC, I want you to get clear. What am I actually seeking in this moment? What would the version of me I'm envisioning actually choose? And observe, I want you, without judgment, to note what is happening inside your body with your thoughts, your environment. Get curious about what's actually going on. Behavior, choose one small different action. Execute, do it, then simply log it. What happened? What did you notice? What changed? And in restore, offer yourself some compassion you would give someone you respect who is learning. Do this with one pattern at least 3 times this week. That's it. This is how trends become transformation. This is how you build your own flavor of confidence. Thank you for listening. If this resonated with you, the best step is so simple. Start or deepen your daily sober journaling. The free guide is waiting for you at sobermethod.com. The link is in the show notes. Grab the book, Flavors of Confidence, Sober Method, if you want the full framework in one place. Please subscribe, leave a review if this helped, and of course, share it with another professional who needs to hear that drinking less or stopping isn't losing something. It's gaining yourself back. I'm Massimo Rigotti. This is the Sober Method Podcast. Keep observing, keep executing, and keep becoming. Your future is sober.